Okay, so when we are doing any offensive operation, this is the order in which we either occupy or we withdraw from the objective based on our element. Right, so when we occupy, the first thing we're going to do is security. You'll notice here I got red, white, and blue assigned to each task. So red being the assault, white being the support, and blue being the security. This will come important, especially when we're trying to do some pro word calls and expediting communication on the objective. Right. So first thing we gotta do is we gotta establish security. If I don't have security on the subjective set, I can't get all my intimate pieces like my support by fire in place, and I can't get my assault in place as close as they need to, right? Because I don't have protection with our assets, right? So first thing first is we were going to set up um, our security posts, being our isolation, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll watch as Delta will get into position here. Okay. So at this point, we would have congregated kind of at an ORP. I know we don't have all the markers here, but just imagine the full troop is in an objective rally point. Objective rally points being either 400 meters or one terrain feature away from your objective, or you do final conditions checks, right? So at this point here, I'd be saying, hey, do I have air on station? What are some final looks in the objective with ISR? What do we see? Is everybody ready? Do people know the plan? Are there final rehearsals we need to do? So on and so forth, right? So we're at the objective rally point, and the first thing we would go ahead and do is we'd establish that security by pushing Delta out. Delta will move surreptitiously to get in their block positions, the one we had identified here and the one we identified here. So I'll go ahead and I'll move those markers. So we got Delta 2 position, kind of isolated down this road a little bit here, and Delta 1 is set looking to the northwest and the northeast here, right? So we got some shape of isolation, not perfect, but it's enough to get the job done, right? So going off our order here, sorry, we're going over to the left. Security set. Next thing is to get that support by fire element in, right? So we know Charlie being our support by fire. We then say Charlie, okay, go ahead and push to establish support by fire, and Charlie will move to their support by fire. And awesome. Charlie has calling up a support by fire set. So support by fire one, support by fire two is set. And now we got our security by fire ready to go. Now we can start getting our assault in its position. Okay. And so assault would be along phase line Chris here. Not exactly on top of where these strikes would be, but close. Just pretend, right? Like Delta 1 is not, absolutely danger close by these cast strikes, right? But we're set up, right? My assault is ready to move to their position. For both Bravo and Alpha, I have my isolation established on subjective, and I have support by fire set, right? So one, two, three of my conditions are now set. Last condition really being my, Condor 1 or my cast being ready to strike the target, right? So the sequence of events that I want to happen is initiation will begin on the cast strike, right? So whenever the bombs drop and either the hellfires or the bombs hit these targets, right, that's when all hell is going to break loose. At that time, bombs drop, right? So walk in sequence here, bombs drop. I want my support by fire is going to open up on the objective, right? Engaging TRP1 and everything east, right? So bombs drop, isolation still maintain, and Alpha and Bravo begin their movements to their assault lanes really here, right? To move through the objective. All the while, right, I'm getting a mad minute of suppression on the enemy. The enemy thinks, right, they're getting attacked from the south, right? Because we got the Mark 48s picking up, and Alpha and Bravo get to phase line Dave. When they get to phase line Dave, call up A Bravo. We're at phase line Dave. Alpha, we're at phase line Dave. Roger. Shift fire. TRP2. Right, and that lets us know Charlie is then going to shift fire to TRP2. It will shift their fires to TRP2. And the support by fire, our Charlie lead, will say, confirm we have shifted fire. Once we get to confirm shift fire, Alpha Bravo, you are now released. Alpha will move to their respective buildings, start clearing out, and they will hit they'll hit phase line Earl. Alpha and Bravo will be like, hey, Alpha's at phase line Earl. Bravo, might take a little bit longer because they have an extra building. They go, oh, I'm at phase line Earl. Got it. Shift fire from TRP2 to TRP3. Say that over the troop net. Charlie switches, right? They shift fire over to TRP3. Again, maintaining interlocking sectors of fire. If you notice, as this gun keeps going further right, it's going to get a smaller and smaller um, field of fire, but we still have interlocking sectors of fire with them. We know our right limits this road here, right? So confirm, shift fire confirmed, TRP3. Awesome. Alpha and Bravo, you're released from phase line Earl. Boom. They're released from phase line Earl. New clearance here, right? They get phase line Fred. We're phase line Fred, phase line Fred. Okay. Go ahead, support by fire, lift fire, lift fire. And so they're only going to engage targets of opportunity on the objective. And that gives us the ability to give Alpha Bravo the go ahead to proceed past phase line Fred. Proceed past phase line Fred. Alpha's probably going to clear 401 pretty quickly, right? At that point, right, when we've released phase line Fred, is in which Delta could then move to Delta 3, their next isolation point, right? So phase line Fred's at that call, they push up. Alpha's through 401. They call LOA at phase line Greg. Hey, we got jackpot. We have a supply cache in here. Bravo continues to clear through. They've cleared through objective Uno, and they've hit 504. The phase line Greg, they call phase line Greg LOA, LOA. Right at this point, we have seized the objective. Right, I know we still got these enemy markers here, but we have seized the objective. Right. So at this point, we'll be doing actions on, right? If we're doing it historically like Ranger School, right, we'd be calling EPW, aid and litter, so on and so forth, right? So for us, we'll be doing sensitive site exploitation, right? So SSE, try to see if there's any evidence here. We'll start having demo with Alpha, start rigging this place to blow. Or if it's stuff that we need to take, getting it ready for it to be moved or out to an HLZ that we can sling load and get it out of here, so on and so forth. All right. Once we're complete, it's rigged, we're ready to go, ready to retrograde off the objective. There's an order in which we you guys remember it over here, it's going to be the opposite of how we occupied, right? So we got ass backwards, right? ASS. We got ass backwards for occupy, so security support assault. Then we got ass forward for withdrawal, assault support security. Right. So the first thing we got to get off the target here is the assault element. Right. So at this point, assault's going to retrograde the way they came. Right. So Bravo, Alpha retrograding off the objective, and they're going to move and get back to our ORP. At which point, generally when they are off the objective, right? So I would say like probably in this vicinity, right? You can make a maneuver control measure. You can say, hey, once they're clear day, we can break down support by fire. But the next thing is going to be withdrawing that support by fire. The support by fire is going to break off. They're going to go back to the ORP. Then last but not least is our security. Security is going to break off the objective, right? And a way we can do this is they're saying assault support security. We can call red, white, and blue over the net, right? So we'll say red. That'll force our assault element to retrograde off. White, support by fire will pick up and leave. Blue, security will pull off. And then there's usually another one called blue burning in here, right? So once we get a certain distance off, we can only go so far before our clacker for detonator will go off for explosive, right? So we'll say blue burning, right? That's where security's off, and that's when we can det and blow up the building of 401. Now, that was a lot of information, fast and dirty. I hope this helped when it comes to planning, and I hope it made sense with execution. If you have any questions on why certain things are triggered a certain way, or if you're having trouble with your own planning when it comes to Arma 3 Milsim, please drop a message. I'd be happy to reach out in Discord and give you some help. or if you know something or a better way to do it than the way we do it, please let me know. This was the doctrinal way of clearing through an objective to conduct a raid. The only thing to leave you with next is if we knew building 401 was our target building, why did we clear through the whole objective? I'll catch you guys next time. Talk talk.